Hey people in YouTube land, Zach Hall here, and we're going to be doing a Bible review today of the KJV Large Print Pew Bible from Thomas Nelson. This is a really great, again, large print that is very cheap and very affordable, but I feel like is a great value for the cost and everything that you're getting. This does come in a dust jacket, and we'll get into some of the details and stuff of this Bible. I got this from Christian Book Distributor as well. This was about $17.99 from Christian Book. You can see here it retails for $24.99, so you do get some pretty good savings when you go through Christian Book Distributors or christianbook.com. And so that's where I got this Bible. Again, this is the large print Pew Bible, and really this has an amazing font. It's a 12-point font, very easy to read, very beautiful, and I wish there was actually more people asking for a premium edition of this, or at least one where you get it in a leather soft with some gilding and some ribbon markers and maybe a reading plan in the back, because this, I could see this large print Bible being a hit with many people. I mean, a lot of people love to just read large print font because it's easier to read, not necessarily because they have to have it or because their eyesight's bad, but it's just more comfortable. It's an easier devotional reading experience. It can be a great preaching Bible in many regards, but then also you do have people who need larger print to read, and sometimes offering it in a different binding can make it more attractive. Now, I think what you could do with this hardback, as like we reviewed with the Cambridge large print hardback, you could get it rebound since it is a cheaper edition. So you get this for $17, and then go get a $150 to $200 cover on it, and it's as much as an Allen. But it could be a text block that you like. So this does have a basic cover, dust jacket on it. Here's some of the features. Obviously, King James. It lays flat. It is a sewn binding. It says easy to read print. Again, it's 12-point font. Durable binding. Words of Christ in red. And then the new Thomas Nelson Comfort Print series. And here that just re-mentions the features. And then a little bit about the KJV Large Print Pew Bible. Here's the actual size of the text. And then here is an ISBN number for you. Interestingly enough, this is printed in Brazil. So Thomas Nelson has been moving away from Chinese printing. I don't know why exactly. Someone that knows more of that maybe will tell you in the comments, but I know that they're moving a lot more production to India and Brazil and some of these different places, and so I thought that was definitely interesting. So you get a cardstock page here, and then your title page connected to that. Then you get your kind of second title page, Authorized King James Version, Red Letter Bible. Here's the copyright information, and again, printed in Brazil. You do get the epistle dedicatory, table of contents, and then you get an Old Testament title page behind this. Now, this is a Bible that many could think definitely could run against the Cambridge large print. And again, I did a review on this Bible, so you can check that out. But I'm also going to compare it to this font. And I think Thomas Nelson definitely could make a competitor out of this Bible with the Cambridge large print if they upped the paper quality a little bit and came out with maybe some other additions as well to complement the hardback. Now, as we flip into the text here, you can see it is Thomas Nelson's Comfort Print font. Now, either you're a fan of this or you're not. I find a lot of people love it. Some people don't like it and love the older font that Thomas Nelson had. I do like it in many of their editions. Some editions I don't like it. I do find it redundant sometimes in all the editions. But I think in the whole, this definitely makes it a better reading experience. Is a beautiful font. It's consistently dark throughout, so you don't have a lot of print variation, so that's good. The line spacing is really good. The word spacing is good. The leading is really good. So you do get a nice reading experience out of this Bible. Now, one of the things that I think the Cambridge large print maybe has an advantage on is it has slightly more margin space than the Thomas Nelson. So for me, that's important space. I can fit notes in there. I can fit cross-references, symbols, tiny textual notes, commentary. In this Bible, it's a lot harder to do. So for this one, I find this to be like a pure reader, or if you wanted to highlight, you definitely could do that and maybe write cross references after the end of verses. And then maybe you could write sideways down here too. I know some people like to do that. I'm not as much as a fan of that style, but there's definitely room to do that. But getting into this text, you can see in here you don't have Pilcrow markers to divide the thoughts. Rather, what Thomas Nelson does is they do an even bolder font on the verse number to show you it's a new thought. So you see 5 and 4 are not as bold, but 6 is. Or we come over here, 12 and 13, but then 14 is even more bold. And you even have 11 is more bold. So these kind of substitute for traditional Pilcrow markers or paragraph dividers. Now, just like the Cambridge large print, you do have your book title in the corners, you have a running page header, and you do have a line down the middle with the page number at the bottom. So that's pretty similar to the Cambridge large print here. So you see both of them have the line, running page headers, and the page number at the bottom. Now let's get in here, I'll show you guys a close-up of the font. Okay, so you can see the Thomas Nelson large print Pew Bible is a larger font by far. It's a little bit, I think you could argue, a cleaner font. The spacing is definitely a little bit better than the Cambridge large print. And it's at a more manageable size. I mean, the Cambridge large print is a good medium. It's not big at all. I mean, it's a good size to hold. So it's not a big Bible at all. But because of that, if you know that, you can see that Thomas Nelson's actually slightly shorter. It's not quite as wide as the Cambridge, but it is just a touch thicker than the Cambridge large print. So they really nailed the size. It's a great Bible. I mean, it's right in the range of like 8.5 by 5.5, 9 by 6. It's right in that range by about 1.5 inches. So it hits a sweet spot, I think. Now you can see when I talk about that margin space, the only downfall of this Bible is because it's thicker, the pages, and because it's a hardback as well, the pages tend to fall into the gutter more. So you do have where these pages, the words start to get swallowed up a little bit, depending on how you have it and where you're reading it. So do be aware of that, but you can easily move your text whichever way you need it. So I find this Bible very awesome to read. Every time I pick this up, this Bible, I find myself reading just a lot out of it. Like, I never just sit down and read a couple of verses. Like, I end up reading chapters at a time because the font's just so easy to read. It is a really engaging reading experience. Now, you can see that there is more ghosting in this Bible. And again, ghosting, for those of you who don't know, that's when you see show through from words on the other page behind it pop up on the page you're reading. So I think you can see here the Cambridge has slightly better paper and therefore has less ghosting. But the Thomas Nelson, from everything I can tell, is line matched, which means all the lines on this page match the lines behind it. So you do have those kind of negated. Whereas the Cambridge large print, as you can see on here, it's not exactly line matched because it's an older typesetting, but for the most part, the lines do match up pretty well in the Cambridge. You can see the red letter. The red letter is actually really done well in this Bible. Of course, where you have right here, like red on black behind it, you're going to have a little bit more ghosting than normal. But as far as the color of the red, it is a very nice red. So I think they did a great job as far as the red color goes. Now let's see here. I don't remember this being a self-pronouncing edition. Let's check that out. Yep, so there are no self-pronunciation marks in this edition. And you can actually see here a little bit where the typesetting got off on the first page of Matthew. But I think that's kind of an anomaly. As you look through the rest of this, it's pretty much line matched everywhere you look. But you can't see, I will say this, the ghosting on this is appearing a lot worse on camera than it is in person. And that could be lighting too. Like if I go like this, that might help some. But I'm telling you, the font on this is amazing. The reading experience is really good. The size is really manageable to just tote around, bring everywhere. So I think it does really compete with the Cambridge large print. Like I said, I'd love to see Thomas Nelson either do like a premiere edition of this, which would be cool, like maybe a goat skin with some art gilding and maybe slightly wider margins, not a ton bigger, but maybe just a 1/4 inch bigger on every side. And then even to see maybe some leather soft editions where you could get an affordable edition with slightly better paper and maybe a couple ribbon markers and a reading plan in the back, because one of the things about this Bible is that when you get to the end of it, there are no maps. You just have the note regarding the type and some cardstock. There are no reading plans, no parables, no miracles of Jesus, no harmony of the Gospels, nothing. You do get red letter throughout the end of Revelation. But after that, that is the end. Now, show you what it looks like without the dust cover on it. It is a black with silver letters. There's the spine. So this is more of a vinyl over hardback, whereas the Cambridge is more of a cloth over board type of look and feel to it. So again, you can get this Bible for $17 off of christianbook.com. And I think, you know, if you wanted a good large print that you can carry, that's a manageable size, and you want to get it rebound, or you want to just use a simple Bible, I think this is a great Bible. But also, yeah, if you're a church or a pastor and you're looking for some good pew Bibles that people can read, they do have a smaller font pew Bible. It's an 8-point font, and it is readable. But, you know, obviously, if you have some members that have older eyes, maybe a couple of these would be good. I just think that font is so easy to read and be really good to follow along with your pastor on a Sunday morning. Beautiful text. So guys, that is the review of the Thomas Nelson KJV large print pew Bible. Pretty basic, no gold gilding, no ribbon markers, just a well-made basic Bible for a great cost and a really good reading experience. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or anything about the Bible or any other features you want to know about that maybe I didn't mention, please drop those in the comments, and I'd love to help you when I can. Other than that, hope you guys have a great day. Take care, and God bless.